Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. We will present about project of preliminary study on demand side management (DSM) that related with economic planning unit energy section. This presentation will be presented by Abdul Fattah Amir, Adila Hanim, Lailatul Jamaah and Siti Nur Syafiqah. We hope that all of you enjoy this presentation and lend us your ears and eyes. Now, let's start our discussion about this project. The title of this project is Preliminary Study on Demand Side Management. Malaysia has pledged to voluntarily reduce carbon dioxide (CO2) emission intensity of gross domestic product (GDP) up to 40% by 2020 as compared to 2005 level, conditional on financial and technological assistance from developed countries. Government also has introduced many green and energy efficient initiatives while enhancing the nation's energy security and sustainability. This project is helped to determine the scope of work, identify focus areas, and set the boundaries before embarking into a comprehensive demand side management study to be undertaken in the period of 2018 until 2020. The key outcome of the preliminary project shall be the first outcome is baseline study on DSM that related initiative, while the next outcome is to identify on focus and boundary setting. The last outcome is the result framework and activities for full study. Now move to the next presentation, which will be highlight the output for this project. First, prioritize gender issues and vulnerable communities. The project will strive to ensure that women, children, indigenous people, and the underprivileged community will be consulted and actively participate in project activities where relevant. The Economic Planning Unit may seek advice from United Nations Development Programme and other interest groups to ensure issues related to gender and vulnerable communities are included during formulation and implementation. Secondly, soft and regular cooperation. Following the successful implementation of the project, this helps in promoting success and best practice between southern countries and can also lead to the transfer of southern technology on demand side management related to electricity, terms, and transportation sector. Last but not least, sustainability and scaling up. The outcome of the project integrate specific activities that guarantee their replicability and or sustainability. It will advance energy planning and management for energy security and mitigation of GHG emission for Malaysia. According to United Nations Development Programme 2020, the project of the Demand Side Management DSM project is led by Asfazam Kasbani, who works as Assistant Resident Representative of United Nations Development Programme UNDP. As the project manager, Asfazam Kasbani is responsible for the day-to-day coordination of the project along with the supervision of the implementing agency's appointed officer. Next, we move on to the objective of this project. Firstly, this project is to support Malaysia's long-term effort to manage its energy demand more sustainably, which will include energy consumption for all part of the major energy consumption sector. While the next objective is to act as an important tool to reduce the high demand for electricity which affect the overall load on the electrical network. And the last objective is to create a new DSM scope that has a positive impact on electrical system and increase system reliability by minimizing hazardous emission to the environment. As all of you can see, this is the time frame for this project. Let's move to the financial department. As we can see that for activities baseline study on DSM, that related initiative state that the total for these activities is $206,000. Next, indication of focus and boundary setting, which is the whole total is $88,000, while the third activity, which is result framework and activity for full study, costly around $66,000. As for the last activity, is the second highest amount among the activity, which is 120,000 US dollar. Roughly, this project cost for the first year is around 324,000 US dollar, while the second year is 156,000 US dollar, and it has turned the whole total into 480,000 US dollar for this project. The first lesson is that the project has taken the appropriate approach in ensuring the efficient use of energy in buildings, industries, and households. DSM is an important tool to reduce peak electricity demand, which affected the overall load on the electrical network, where it has a good effect to reduce the emergency of the electrical system and increase the reliability of the system. The project activities will be closely monitored by UNDP and the Economic Planning Unit in Prime Minister Department (EPU) as outlined in the Country Programme Action Plan. Tracking the progress with monitoring plan, progress data against the result indicator will be collected and analysed to assess the progress of the project and achieving the agreed output. Next, monitor and manage risk as well as the risk log should be actively maintained, that including reviewing the external environment that may affect the project implementation. Risk management action will be identified and monitoring using a risk log. This include measure and plan that required by UNDP's social and environmental standard, and audit will be conducted accordance with UNDP's audit policy to manage financial risk. In addition, this project also applies on evaluate and learn, since knowledge, good practice and lessons should be captured and shared as well as actively sourced from other projects and partners. It should be conducted in accordance with project evaluation plan. Last but not least, review and make course correction. The project management will review the data and evidence collected on a regular basis within the annual cycle and make correction as needed. Any significant course correction that require a decision by the project board should be raised at the next meeting. As a conclusion, in this case study, we are focusing on the outcome of the developed program where demand-side management (DSM) ought to identify the focal point and range of the area to set a limit before starting thoroughly. To provide important new adjustment for Malaysia toward efficient energy resources management and balanced overall energy scope management, it requires fundamental changes in every major dimension, including policy formulation, institutional development, governance structure, including awareness programs and further education. That's all from us. Thank you for spending your time and lend us your ears. We hope that all of you enjoy and get input from our presentation. Stay safe everyone, and Assalamualaikum.